Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Meet again with me, Riza Mazagi at FES'T, Fun English at SMAS. How are you, students? I hope that you're in good condition, you're still in good protection, you're in good motivation in learning, even we are in this uncomfortable condition. I'm at school, you are at home, but even we are apart, I hope that the spirit of learning, especially English, still on in our hearts, in our mind. So today I don't want to tell you more, just to the point I'd like to tell you about a lesson relating with transactional text. What is it? Let's check this out. What should I do? This topic, why I give the title, What Should I Do? It is one of the expressions using modal should that's combined into an expression of a question, what should I do? So this lesson is taught in Trans Interest Class 10 and it has 3.2 for basic competence of cognitive skill and also 4.2 basic competence of psychomotor skill. To get you more understand about the contents of the lesson, let's go to the second stage. In 3.2 basic competence of cognitive skill, it consists of applying social function to structure and language feature written and spoken interactive transactional text involving giving and asking information dealing with necessity of acting in the future, now or past time, corresponding to the context of its use, should, simple, should, continuous, and should perfect. So this chapter, we are learning about the use of modal should in simple, in continuous, as well as in perfect. Now let's step to the indicators of cognitive skill. There are some indicators that you should do to achieve the goals of this material. Number one is identifying the sentence which contains of should, simple, should, continuous, and should perfect. Number two, exemplifying sentence by using should. Number three, classifying the sentence based on the context of its use. Number four, applying the use of should into the sentence. So they are the indicators of cognitive skill in 3.2. Now we go to the next stage. Well, students, here I give you the example of some dialogies that it consists of the use of modal of should. This is the first dialogue from Andy and Beta. Why you look so sad? I got bad score at English daily test. What should I do? Don't worry, you should study again for next time. Dialogue 2, Carol and Dea. You know, during the math essay study, I made a lot of mistakes. You should be doing the test carefully. Dialogue 3, Dora, you know my family and I plan dinner at the weekend in Batavia restaurant. When we go to the restaurant, there were no empty tables. Had you made a reservation before? No, we hadn't reserved one. You should have reserved a table. The restaurants are usually crowded at the weekend. Yeah, I should have, but I didn't. There are the example of three dialogies that consist of the use of modal should. So the next is we are discussing about the use of should in detail. The first I give you the use of should in present. The function of should in present, there are two. The first is to give advice, a recommendation or suggestion. To give advice, recommendation or suggestion. The example, does your tooth still hurt? You should make an appointment with the dentist. I think you should study for the test so that you don't fail. From these two examples, example number one, does your tooth still hurt? You should make an appointment with the dentist. This is giving a suggestion, a recommendation to somebody who has toothache. So he suggests to make an appointment with the dentist. Using modal should. You should make an appointment with the dentist. It is suggestion. Number 2, express that a situation is likely in the present. Express the situation is likely in the present, but the fact is not. The example, Mary should be at home by now. Give her a call. He should have the letter by now. I sent it a couple of weeks ago. So from these two examples, we analyze. Number 1, Mary should be at home by now. Give her a call. Maybe when there is somebody saying Mary should be at home by now, give her a call, she met Mary on the way home. So, for example, I met Mary on the way when she wants to go home. Then I give the information to another person that's looking for Mary by saying Mary should be at home by now. Give her a call. So that is the use of modal should number 2. It's also for second example. He should have a letter by now. I sent it a couple of weeks ago. So I already sent a letter to him a couple of weeks ago. It is automatically that it should be the letter in his email or maybe in his letters box. He should have the letter by now. Now I give you the next function of should in present. Express that the situation is likely in the future, like the prediction. The example is they should win the game because they are a much better team. So based on what they are training every day on the field, the routine exercising in football, and then I'm sure that they can win the match. So I say to them, club or football club, they should win the game because they are a much better team. That's like a prediction. And the activity of the game will be done a couple of days later. So it is like the future prediction. The next example, I posted the check yesterday. I posted the check yesterday. So it should arrive this week. So it should arrive this week. At present, the letter is not available yet. But I predict that the letter should arrive this week because I have already posted the check yesterday. The next is it should be fine tomorrow. It should be fine tomorrow. It's a prediction. Number 4, express an obligation that is not as strong as must. Should can be used for express the obligation, but it is not as strong as must. When I say you must pray 5 times a day, it is obligation. But if we use should, you should go to dentist. It is an obligation, but if you don't do that, the suggestion, it doesn't matter. This is the example. Sometimes should is used instead of must to make rules, orders, or instructions sound more polite. This may appear more frequently on formal notices or on information sheets. The example is on hearing the fire alarm, hotel guests should leave the room immediately. It is giving the orders to somebody if hearing the fire alarm on, so the hotel guest should leave their room immediately. This is obligation, but if you don't do that, it's okay, the risk on you. Passenger should check in at least 2 hours before departure time. Passenger should check at least 2 hours before departure time. So before we have our flight, so you should check at least 2 hours before the flight starts. The next stage, telling about the use of modal should be. It is usually used in the continuous. At present already done, a previous stage. Now the next stage is discussing about modal should be. The function is number 1. Now fulfilling obligation should be verb aim. This expresses the idea that the subject is not fulfilling their obligation or is not acting sensibly. The example, you should be wearing a seatbelt. The fact that you don't wear the seatbelt. So it is like something that already suggested to you, but you didn't do that, or you didn't wear the seatbelt. The person isn't wearing right one now. We should be studying for the test. The fact that we don't study for the test, so we have a bad score. And then next, the use of should have. If should be, it is not fulfilling at present, but should have is expected at the past time, but it is not done at the past time. Was expected in the past, but didn't happen at the past. Should have past participle of verb 3, followed by verb 3. This expresses the idea that the subject didn't fulfill that obligation in the past. If should be in present, while should have in the past, or didn't act responsibly. The example, you should have given your boss the report yesterday when he asked for it. The fact that today he is fired because yesterday he didn't give the report to the boss. The suggestion is you should have given your boss the report. So, because you didn't give the report, today you are fired. Okay, next example, and the next is I should have studied more, but I was too tired. I should have studied more, but I was too tired. Because yesterday I had many activities, so I was so tired. There was someone suggested to me, you should have studied more. The fact that I didn't study because I was so tired, because many activities I did. The next stage is, okay, dialogue 1. The next stage is dialogue 1. I have already given you a dialogue in the previous before I explained to you about what should be, what should have. Now we recheck the dialogue that I have given to you, remembering the function of should be, and should have. Dialogue 1. Why you look so sad? I got FES'T start a daily test. What should I do? Don't worry, you should study again for next time. Here you can find you should study again for next time means that because I got FES'T score daily test, this is something that happening today. And then don't worry, you should study again means Andi suggests to Bertha for the next activity of daily test, she should prepare well about the test by learning, by studying, or anything. So it is called a suggest someone to do something in the future. Number 2, dialogue 2, Carol with Dea. You know, during the math test yesterday, done yesterday, I made a lot of mistakes. Happening at the past time. You should be doing the test carefully. You should be the test carefully. The fact that you don't do the test carefully so that you got the bad score. You got the bad score. So you should be doing the test carefully. It is likely happening at present, but it isn't real. It isn't happening. It is called as should be doing. Number 3, dialogue 3, you know, until Judika said you should have reset the table. Because the condition that we don't get any table available when Dora goes to the restaurant, Batavia restaurant, then she can't find the available or free table. So she regrets because she didn't reserve before. So that's why Judika said you should have reset the table. Because the fact that Dora doesn't get the table, doesn't get a free table, and she regrets, and then Judika suggests you should have reset the table. So this is suggestion, but it is not real happening at present. It is not real at the past. The fact that now she regrets. That's all for the dialogue 1, dialogue 2, dialogue 3. In 3.2, telling about 4.2 in psychomotor skill. Okay, let me tell you about the assessment 1. Assessment 1 is you make a conversation with your friend, record it in audio, and then send to the assessment box. The conversation consists of modal should be, and modal should have, and not or. So you should include 3 of modals type into the conversation. That is assessment 1 by recording audio. So you send MP3 format. And the second assessment, individually, I ask you to make a script of conversation using modal should be, modal should have in one conversation, not apart. In one conversation, you can make it in one script. Not dialogue 1, dialogue 2, dialogue 3, no, but you make only one dialogue, and the conversation consists of should be, and should have. So students, that is the lesson for today about the use of modal should. I hope that you're good in understanding. If you have problems in understanding this, you may ask me in WhatsApp or maybe in Google Classroom or any other messages, online messages. So in learning, we are in a good understanding all. Okay, students, I think that's all for our meeting today. Meet again the next meeting still in the similar channel in FES'T, Fun English Smart with me, Rizam Zaki. See you next time. Have a nice day. Keep your health, keep your spirit. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.